at 5 o'clock. Is she live back there? Today is July 23rd, 2026. This is the Clay County Board of Adjustment. It's 5 p.m. and I am opening the meeting, but we do not have a quorum. It's a 5-member board and we have to have 3 members to have a quorum. Our third member, there's only 3 of us that are going to be here tonight anyway. The third member is on the way. He's probably 10 minutes away, more or less, maybe less. So we're not going to take any action or have any discussion or anything until that time. Ms. Recording Secretary, is that adequate for what you need? Do we dare ask the attorney? You know, Jamie, he's a stickler. He's a stickler. Okay. So I'm just going to, we're going to, what's the word, abeyance? We're going to stay in abeyance. Hey, look, there, our third member has just walked in. He must have been in his Learjet.
Sir, did you speak?
Ron, I had just opened the meeting and explained that we had to wait until the third member got here.
You know, it doesn't seem to matter if I left 20 minutes early. I probably got here at the same time. Just always works that way.
Okay, well, now we are going forward. We have our 3 members, so we have a quorum. And the first item of business is the approval of our minutes from the last meeting, which was May 28th, 2026. Do I have a motion and a second for approval of those minutes? Or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, George.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0, so those minutes are approved. Second is public comments for anyone here in the audience that wants to comment on anything on the agenda or even not on the agenda if it's planning and zoning related. Okay, seeing nobody, I will close the public comments for that and come back to our one and only public hearing, and it's for BOA 26-0007. And with that, I'll turn it over to our staff.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant in this, for this application is Philip Craps. The location of the property is 501 Perdido Drive in Orange Park, Florida. The request is to increase the percentage of lot coverage to 40% in RB zoning district. There's an aerial image of the site. Some background, the parcel is located on the north side of Perdido Drive and is part of the Peters Creek Unit subdivision. The parcel is approximately 9,900 square feet. The existing house is 3,196 gross square feet, resulting in a 33% coverage, which exceeds the 30% maximum coverage that's allowed within the RB zoning district. The applicant is requesting that the lot coverage for this parcel be increased to 40%. So that he could build an accessory structure that's approximately 16 by 20 feet, 320 square feet. He'd like to locate that in the backyard. So regarding conditions for variance, there are conditions that staff analyzes, and I'll provide you brief responses on these. The first is that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved. This existing residential structure was permitted and constructed in 1986 with a lot coverage of 33%. That exceeds the 30%, which was permitted under Ordinance 8245. The residential dwelling was issued a certificate of occupancy by the county at that present 33% lot coverage at the time. That the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant. That the parcel as presently developed does not meet the lot coverage standards for the RB zoning district as set forth in the Land Development Code. The applicant purchased the property with the present 33% lot coverage, so that was not something he generated. That granting the variance request will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by the ordinance to other lands, buildings, or structures. In this case, the granting of the variance will confer on the applicant a privilege denied to other properties in the RB zoning district by allowing a lot coverage more than 30%. That literal interpretation of the provisions of the ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties. In this case, staff finding is the literal interpretation of the ordinance would not deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other property owners in the RB zoning district. All properties in the RB zoning district are allowed a maximum of 30% lot coverage. And the next one is that the variance granted is the minimum variance will make possible the beneficial use of the land, building, or structure. The parcel has been and continues to be utilized for single-family residential purposes. The requested variance will have no impact on the beneficial use of the property. The desire for a 320 square foot accessory structure would result in a total 35.5% lot coverage, while the requested variance is to allow for 40% lot coverage. And the next one is that the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general intent purposes of these ordinances, and that the variance would not be injurious to the area involved or otherwise detrimental to the public welfare. The staff finding is that the granting of the variance would not be in harmony with the general intent and purpose of the code. All parcels in the RB zoning district have a maximum lot coverage of 30%. Granting the variance should not be injurious to otherwise detrimental to the public welfare. However, the additional lot coverage would increase impervious area on the parcel, resulting in additional runoff, which may adversely impact adjacent parcels. So final finding by staff is that the requested variance to increase the maximum lot coverage in the RB zoning district is not consistent with the Land Development Code. Staff recommend denial of the request to increase the maximum lot coverage to 40% for the parcel in RB. With that, are there any questions?
Thank you.
I have one question. I saw a pool in the picture. That pool doesn't count as part of the coverage, does it?
No.
Okay. It's gone anyway right now. Apparently it's filled in. From the other picture, I see pictures of fresh dirt in his backyard, so there wouldn't be room for this structure if the pool was there. But yeah, the pools don't count unless you put a bird cage over them. And then it affects setbacks and that kind of stuff.
It's always seemed counterintuitive that a pool is considered pervious. I mean, I guess because you have the autofills and it dumps it out, but probably just seemed weird.
It's like a pond.
So what,
You know, it's like, I know, it comes into, yeah, calculation wise, the pool is invisible, but like this, so it's a pond, so.
would I be correct in my assumption that adding the 320 square foot shed is less than the pool? So basically the impervious would actually be less than it was before with the pool? I don't know if you have the numbers on it.
Possibly, but the pool doesn't count towards the
And I
lot
don't-
coverage.
Right, I
Right.
know it doesn't count for the
Yeah.
coverage. I was wondering if this actually gives less.
I think
Surface than.
I think
When you have
the
the pool.
33% that Beth has been talked about in the application, I think the 33% is just the home and driveway. I don't think that includes the pool, because typically you would not include a pool in those calculations.
Right, I got it, but I'm talking about like the impervious surface as far as like runoff. Would it actually be less with the shed than it was with the pool? Because the pool really is not.
Right, no,
Yeah, the pool had deck around it as well, so.
yeah, and the only, you do get runoff from the cool deck of a pool, but not from the water surface itself. It doesn't drain into your yard, so, you know what I'm saying, so it's.
True, didn't really think of that part of it.
Yeah, it, typically, and I'm not trying to sway this, but typically when I'm designing a subdivision, you take about 40% of the lot size as impervious. Now, you got a home, you got a driveway, you got a patio, you know, whatever. That's just you'll take that, so if it's a 10,000 square foot lot, you'd say that's a 4,000 square foot of impervious. The rest will soak in. And you take that into your pond calculations. Now you make your pond much bigger than that to be on the safe side, but that's just typical. But now if you have a 1 acre lot, you're not gonna assume that you got a 10,000 square foot home or something like that. So.
Yeah, one question I had was one of the photos shows like an existing 8x10 shed. Is that on this lot?
Yeah, Mr. Crapes, is it Crepes? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you would, I need your name and your address
Yeah.
for the record.
Philip James Crakes, 501 Perdido Drive, Long Island, Florida, 32033.
Okay, and I hate to ask you this, wearing your uniform. Do you swear that everything you're about to state is the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
If we can't trust you, who can we trust? Yeah, George had the question of, is there, some of the photographs, we couldn't tell if that shows something on your property. There's like a 5x5 or 8x8.
It's almost a 10 by 10 shed, but that was there when I bought the house back in
Okay.
2019.
Okay. What are you planning on doing with this building?
Well, it's just a place where I can work on motorcycles. I like to weld, so like my garage now is like all my stuff. So every time I'm welding or something, or I'm building, my wife is walking by when she comes home from work and yells at me for a little bit inside. But I was looking for something, and it doesn't really have to be 16 by 20. That's a plan. But when I was trying to get an idea for a shed or anything that I can work out of, I was told I couldn't build anything with a roof, not even, because I want to do an outdoor kitchen eventually with a patio. And because I just ran out of coverage, so.
Hold on, Sheila. There you go. Yeah, that's correct. Anything that had a roof, I mean, unfortunately, your existing home, when you bought it, was at 33% coverage, was under roof. So like I said, an outdoor kitchen or anything would have bumped you over that. And, the bigger you want to make this, you know, the harder it is, more difficult it is for us to approve, because, you know, is it gonna affect the resale of your home that you have this huge structure in your backyard? That, we don't care. That's not our, purview. But we do look to see, you know, what your neighbors are gonna think and whatever. Beth, has there been any correspondence with any of the neighbors regarding the orange signs or all that? Okay.
You know, the other note is, you know, the height on this is 15 feet. That seems like a little bit
Yeah.
of a tall structure to put in a,
I have the new plans, it's like, I got it down to 10 feet.
okay.
I don't know, 15 feet, I was gonna use that as storage, but it's Florida, everything's gonna melt at the top, so.
Yeah, the higher you go, the more expensive it gets because of hurricane issues and that kind of stuff.
So is that existing shed, what's the disposition of that? Is that gonna stay, or are you removing it?
No, I'm removing it.
Okay. So I don't know if was that part of the original 30%?
No, sir. I guess when my house was built in 85 or 86, there was no zoning. And then around in the 90s, I think, I want to say 92, between 92 and 96, the zoning came about.
Got it.
So when the house was originally built, it was built with 3,100 square foot before the zoning. Then they zoned it in the 90s. And then my house happened to be over.
Beth, do you state in here how many square feet the lot is already?
I think 9,900.
So it's 9,900 now. He's trying to build, what, 16 by 20? Where you were asking for the 40% coverage, just thinking of in the future if you want to have an outdoor kitchen or whatever.
Yes, sir. And I'm leaving for a deployment, August 17th. So, I mean, this is an idea, but I just wanted it, you know, just general consensus. If I were to build something, I just want to go ahead and have it approved or whatnot.
Yeah, right. What's in the 15-foot easement behind, on your back, the backside of your property?
It's a retention pond. It's Watson Realty, that property off of 17.
Uh-huh.
It goes all the way back there. So where my fence is, there's 15 feet from the fence is an easement. That's what it says on a survey. So
Okay, so you're gonna put this shed up against your fence?
no, so from my house, like it's 5 feet from my house.
Right,
It puts it right next to the easement.
okay. Yeah, okay, but the pond starts on the other side of your fence though, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's about a good, I want to say 8 feet from the fence.
Okay. But you don't have anybody behind you complaining?
No, sir.
Why did you fill in the pool?
Nobody used it, and I was tired of going to Pinch a Penny every week, getting a test done, buying chlorine, and and I came home one day. I'm like, talked to the wife. I'm like, "Do you care if I get rid of the pool?" And she's like, "No, I do not." I was like, "Okay."
I've been there. I didn't fill mine in, I moved, but I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody should own a pool at least once. My
Right.
wife and I both owned pools before we were married, and we both said never again.
Pools
Just
are
like-
great until they're not.
Yeah,
Just like a
when you have
boat.
kids, they're great because the kids can learn to swim and all that. But no, all I did was clean the pool. So, okay, guys, y'all got any question of Mr. Crepes?
I've got one question. The outdoor kitchen, did you definitely want a roof over that?
Yeah, we're thinking about it. I mean, it's Florida, so I just don't want to be grilling in the rain. But
Right.
we talked about it. It's just future plans. A lot of stuff is probably. I want to start everything when I get back next year in 2027.
Okay.
See, one of the things we're wrestling with is, according to the best numbers, I mean, you're 33% right now.
Yeah.
Of coverage. And she said with this building, the 320 square foot accessory building, it would put you at 35.5% lot coverage, which is not too much more than the 33 you already have, but it's way more than the 30 you're supposedly allowed.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna look at the 33 as, forget that, because that was built before the 30% criteria
Yep.
came to exist. It's easier for us to approve 36% or 35.5 than 40.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what, so it's like, if you're really gonna if you gotta have 40, that's okay. But you got a better chance of having denial for 40 than you do for 35.5. I mean, if we might not have a problem with what you're building now, but, the extra, 40% over 35.5 is quite a bit more.
Well, the 4.5% is like, that's a blank check of,
It is, yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm much more comfortable with 35.5 than I am 40.
right. And just because it's an unknown,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kind of brings up a question for staff. Would you happen to know, if this zoning was changed later, how many other neighbors in that immediate area are over the 30%? Are there any others at 40 or close to that? I mean, it makes a difference to me whether every other house on it is at 35 or if he would be the only one over 30.
Offhand, I don't know, but I believe there was a variance on the lot next door, and I'm not sure what it was, but it may have been similar, because I'm sorry, I don't know why you can't see tonight, but there is a sizable house, it looks like, next door that I don't know, you live there, does it look like it's similar to your size or maybe even?
It looks-
Might be bigger?
I would say it looks a little bit smaller than mine.
Oh, okay.
But she does have a big cage on the back over her
Yeah.
pool.
Beth, I think most of those houses, because they didn't have the 30% criteria when they were built, when Peters Creek was built, it would not surprise me if all of them are over 30%. I don't mean by, 31, 33, whatever. It would not surprise me because at that time, we didn't have the 30% criteria.
Correct, yeah.
So, that's the reason that you're grandfathered in to 33, and I'm kind of ignoring the 33 number and saying how much above that do you want to add?
And really, the existing shed is there like out of compliance, and you're not even getting credit back for removing it, so.
Yeah, Beth, you were out talking to the lady in the back about the television, when George asked the question. There already is, it was there when Mr. Crepes bought the home. There's like one of those Sears 5x5 buildings or 5x8 buildings. It's always been there. Most people don't get a permit for those. They just
No.
come in and set it up, So he's gonna abandon that. That stuff is gonna go in here. And that's what George was saying, how much square foot if it's a 5x8.
Is that building on a slab or is it portable?
It's on a plywood, it looks like 2x6 plywood. It's rotten, so it's been there for a long time. So.
Got it.
Usually most people don't put them on a slab, they'll put them on concrete steps or something like that,
Move them around.
Yeah, so. Okay, Mr. Crepes, thank you very much. I'm going to open it up to see if anybody here in the public needs to come and speak about this.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you. With that, I'm going to open this up for public comment. I see two people from the public here. Would y'all like to speak for or against this, or y'all are just here because you got nothing better to do on Thursday night? Okay. With that, I'll close that portion of our public comment and come back to the board. Do we have questions of staff or questions of Mr. Crepes or anything?
Just a general question. These are motorcycles you're working on for your personal use, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I collect them and I do vintage like old CB 750s and stuff like that.
Got it.
Or you got a poor driveway to get back there?
Yeah, I do. But
It's not gonna be
honestly,
any wider than a sidewalk, yeah.
I would like to,
Yeah,
but I probably, more than likely a sidewalk.
yeah, I know. I collect cars. I put cars back there, but I have to move the AC system to get around. So, okay.
Yeah.
He collects planes. Okay. George, you got any questions? Brian, you got any questions of Mr. Crepes or of staff, or anybody want to give me a motion?
No, other than the fact I really wish I knew that area if there were others, and what size they were and
Yeah.
past it. Because I would feel a lot better passing it if knowing that half the other houses on the street are at 40 or 45%.
Yeah, I don't know. I could not tell you. Been through there 1,000 times. I live across the street. But I
don't really
couldn't,
know
but
the
I
area
couldn't tell
myself.
you. Yeah, it's a nice subdivision. I mean, there's some nice homes in there. But I couldn't tell you what percentages they are. I never really cared. I mean, the homes seem to fit well on the lots. I mean, you got 10-foot side yard setbacks on both sides. So it's not like you can reach out and touch your neighbor. So,
Knowing that area, what's your gut on it?
My gut would be to ask Mr. Crepes if he could go with the approval of a 16 by 20 that's 10 feet tall instead of 15.
Yes.
And then if and when they want to do a kitchen, come back to us. But I'm kind of like George. I hate just to give a blank 40%.
Right, I wouldn't approve of 40%.
So, and that's what we do sometimes. We'll ask the applicant, but so I don't think you're gonna see it. I mean, you got Watson Realty and the woods and the pond on that side. And, his house blocks the front. And, you know, the only person I'm really concerned about is this lot 12, which is, but he's meeting the setback and all that. And from the aerial, they've got an RV parked right there. If you look at the aerial, you can see the, you know.
Are there any community restrictions on the type of building he has to put in here?
How does your HOA, do y'all have an HOA?
No HOA, sir. I talked to my neighbors too, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about building, what do y'all think? And Mary on the right side said she's fine with it, and then the guy next door, he builds cars, so he's like, yeah, I'll come over and borrow some tools, but, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've already, because before I plan something, I'm very, like, I work in aviation, so I plan everything out before I start paying money to get things done. And I took a full consensus around my neighbors, and they seem, if my neighbor wasn't cool with it, then I was like, okay, I need to think of something else, you know.
What's the drainage like up there? Any drain, any,
Peters Creek does pretty good. You got swell, you don't have a curb, do you? You got
No,
swells in your front
yeah,
yard.
kind of like a semi ditch.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, But
And it percolates okay. I mean, the 17 is the high point, and so all that drains back toward the river. It drains to the east. I don't think. How long have you lived there?
I lived there since 2019.
During the hurricanes, did y'all have any flooding in the neighborhood? I
The
don't.
only thing that I had a problem was my pool filling up.
Well, yeah,
That's about it.
yeah.
But no flooding. I have a little drain by my driveway that goes directly in the sewer system, so everything comes off the road and.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not aware of, you know, his house is gonna have the worst impact, because he's 5 feet from his foundation.
Yeah.
He's far enough from the neighbors and Watson Realty that they're not gonna have much impact from him, but, you know, he's gonna have half of that water coming into his bay window area, so, but that's solvable too, I'm just saying, it's, you know, no, it's pretty sandy soil right there. Anybody wanna make a motion? Go get milkshakes?
thinking,
You can see how we're torn on this, it's just, you know, it's close, yeah.
Well, 35.5, I'll be happy with that.
I tell you what, why don't
what do you guys think?
I'm gonna slide the gavel over to you, since my vice chair is gone. I'm just gonna pick you as vice chair for the moment. And I'll make a motion to approve it with the 16 by 20 that's requested along, and 10 feet tall, which is 35.5%, and not the 40 as was requested. I think that's just stretching the envelope a little bit too far.
And can we put in the conditions also removal of the existing shed?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And removal of the existing 5 by 8 or whatever, 8 by 8 or whatever those little suckers are.
I've already planned to do that this weekend.
Okay.
So.
I think I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too, and I would only suggest if you do come back later, want to get more, I would get with the county and bring us a list of neighbors that are at 40% or something, because
Okay.
that makes it a lot easier for us to
10-4.
okay something like that.
Yeah, I mean, with a big orange sign in my yard, it did bring a lot of traffic, and people were, like, you know, asking me when I was doing yard work, and I explained to them, and a lot of them was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and check." So I mean, they never really told me since then, but I know a lot of them were like questioning, am I over a lot?
You can go down to property appraiser's website and look at every neighbor and see how many square feet they have in their home.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
and then you can kind of calculate from there.
if you would've came today with a list of, this guy, and that house, they're all at 40, and this guy's at 45, I wouldn't have any problem approving the 40 now, but I just don't know
Right.
what it is there. I mean, for all I know, you might be the only house that's more than 30.
Right.
He's not. There are a couple of others. I'm sitting here going through the property appraiser right now. There are a couple of others that are larger, so.
Are there any approaching the 40?
Well, of course, they give you gross floor area, so even looking at his, it's not the same number that he's cited, but 3,300 square foot is the gross, but on his, I believe it was like 3,000.
Yeah.
According to their records, so.
Well, does, the property appraisers,
3196 for his,
Yeah.
so 3,300 on another one is obviously bigger than
right.
Yeah.
the applicant's house, so there are several in there.
So it's not a great deviation from the median of the neighborhood then.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be okay with that.
Well, there's a motion on the floor.
You making the motion?
I've already made it a motion. That's the
All right,
reason
I
I
will-
pushed the gavel over
I will
Brian.
second the motion to approve.
So we have a motion and a second.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay,
Aye.
and it passes 3-0 with those limitations.
35 and a half? 35.5?
35 and a half, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
35 and a half, max 10 feet, and removal of this existing shed.
Yeah, so, okay. Thank you very much. Good luck,
Thank you
good
very
luck on your deployment.
Do I need to do anything else, or?
Nah,
No, we'll send you a letter that
Okay.
states, that they
Come-
approved it and the conditions.
come back safely.
Yes, sir, I will.
That's the only thing you gotta do. Come back safely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm gonna open the second public comment to see if those two people wanna get up and talk anymore, since they've talked so much already. Okay, with that, I'll close it and bring it back to the board. And we have a meeting next month, I believe? I think Kelly said we have an agenda item. So, okay. Anything else? We're adjourned.